A little video on how to do a little tune-up kit on the weed eater. I got this for 50 bucks off of Facebook Marketplace, and it doesn't run. The pull string wouldn't move, which means the crank was locked up. There's a hydro lock, I believe, so I popped this off, which is screw here, over here, down here. There's 3. Pulled that whole thing off. I grabbed the cup, I'm gonna call it, which is what this goes right over, and I grabbed it and I was able to break it loose in my hand and verify that the piston moves. It's gonna be hard to see probably, but I got that fixed, so I got this tune-up kit, so I was gonna do a quick little video on how to take that apart. First things first, there's 2 nuts that go right here after you take off the air filter. Take these 2 nuts off and this whole piece comes off. What I found out also was wrong with mine, because this bulb wasn't pulling in any fuel. This is cracked. That's not good. So I just got a whole new kit here. Do next, let's pull this back off. There's a screw here, screw here, screw here. So I pulled that off, sitting there. I got the whole gas tank off now. I'm gonna replace the lines here. No good way to show you this, but I just pulled until that came loose. There's that. Took that out, and that fuel filter came out. I pulled the lid all the way out just because it was easier to dump it out that way. All I'm gonna do is install a new filter onto that, put it back in here. Alright, I put the new fill filter on the bottom of this hose here. You can see where this one was a little stretched out. Nipple ain't that big anymore. See, there's too much wiggle room here. No bueno. Put the new one in, got it sitting up, put the cap back on. I'm gonna screw this back onto the weed eater. On just like that. Move these wherever you need. And it sits in there like so. The only issue I had was this flopped out, so it took me a minute to remember that you gotta tuck it behind here a bit. As long as this hooks up, we're good. I'll show you that step next. And what we're gonna do, this one's got the 2 holes in it. You see I still have the old one on here. I'm gonna pull this one off. If I can get it, there we go. We're gonna go ahead and slide this one right back on. We're gonna be very careful because they are very easy to tear. It's flat up against there. I'm gonna take the new carb. You see this is where your throttle is. So your cable's gonna hook up right into there. Right into there, I'm sorry. Just slide this on like so. Slide that back into place. You hook up your longer fuel line here, you hook up your shorter one here, and then you hook your throttle cable into that, which is a little different than the old one. The old one doesn't have that, but seems like it works. So now we're going to put this filter, or this seal back on here, and then we're going to put this back on. Just got this sitting on here. These are 8mm nuts. You go right on in here. We're going to tighten them on. We'll torque them to spec. I'll just Google that real quick and then I'll do it off camera and we'll go from there. Alright, I got that tight. This filter does go on one way, so just line it up. There's a little pin right here. Your door has hooks here and a button over here to release it. And hook the door back in. And that's it. I gotta put fuel in it and see if it'll start. Oh, I guess my old spark plug is okay, but it did come with a new one, so I'm gonna put the new spark plug in as well. Simple as that. The issue originally was that it wouldn't crank. Well, then I noticed that this bulb wouldn't fill. Now we're good. Perfect. We'll let it run a little bit because it hasn't ran in about 2 years. And we'll give it a test.